Hello all YouTubers, I am the Weather Dude. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning back into this weather presentation for February 28th, 2020. As always, please don't forget to subscribe as well as watching the whole video, as today we're going to be talking about a potential eastern bomb cyclone that will be taking place soon. Okay, so about 102 hours from now, so basically like about 4 days or so about right around March 3rd and March 4th, we'll be seeing this storm move through the southeast, or the south central into the southeast and the northeast, and it could cause some big problems. So please consider subscribing, ring the bell notifications, and liking and watching the whole video. Okay, now here's a GFS model, kind of like the jet stream level winds. And I'll tell you, if you're flying from west to east, you're gonna have a heck of a time, and in a good way. Okay, since those winds are going west to east so fast, like the flight times are going to be cut down significantly. Like, for example, if you had a flight from like St. Louis into Philly, okay, you're gonna have a great time. And I mean, if you happen to be flying during that time, which it's going to be really stormy, but the jet stream winds with the GFS model, okay, could be 200 to 205 miles an hour plus. Okay, we're talking about like over 175 knots. The winds at jet stream level. So, and this is going to raise the risk, or at least a possible risk for severe weather in the southeast, but not going to be that very likely, but could be a possibility. Now here's the GFS rainfall totals. This is basically from here, like 7 days from now. So basically from now until the 6th of March. So from now to next Friday, and right in this zone right here, central Kentucky, central Tennessee, northern Mississippi, western Tennessee especially, 4 inches plus. Okay, probably close to 6 inches in a place like Memphis, according to the GFS model so far. And even down the I-95 corridor, Washington, D.C., Philly, New York, Boston, all the big cities, potentially 2 to 3 inches, or somewhere in that vicinity. But widespread areas of, potential for 2 inches plus of precipitation out of this. How about this? Now the snowfall, and just like another storm, the storm's going to be like whoop. Or actually, it's not even that. It's more like this. So, not much snowfall, and actually the snowfall that hits the Appalachians is actually hitting them right now pretty much. But a couple inches, a few inches is certainly possible up in northern New York, or northern New England, I should say, they had a heck of a lake effect snow event. I mean, we're talking about like a few feet piling up over here off the lakes. But maybe an additional, 6 inches plus in some of the localized spots. But, I mean, some of that might not even be from the bomb cyclone itself. How about the European model now? Okay, so the European has jet stream winds 200 miles an hour plus, but it's a lot more widespread. I mean, the potential for 200 miles an hour jet stream winds, southern Missouri through Kentucky through Virginia. Okay, and these are all like slightly different timestamps, but still, you're flying from St. Louis to a place like DC. I mean, it's gonna be a very, very quick ride for you. And it's always good. It's always good when you're in the air to have tailwind, but when you're taking off and especially landing, it's a bad time to have tailwind. You want to have a little bit of headwind actually when you're landing. It makes it better. But there's not going to be like that good of a chance of having tailwind, like a strong tailwind on your flight in the air, and then when you land, all of a sudden you're going to have headwind. Okay, probably not going to work like that, but still, tailwind is always a nice help. All right, pivotal weather here. Okay, I mean, same website I've always been using, but the rainfall with the European model, and potentially 2 to 4 inches. Not quite as strong as what the GFS had. As a matter of fact, the GFS had all the rainfall centered in here, and the European kind of has it. I mean, this is going out through 7 days from now, so same timestamp. The European has a little bit lighter rainfall, okay, and it kind of more far south. For an example, for the wind thing again, if you are flying from Philly to California, okay, Philly to San Francisco to be exact, it's about 6 hours. Okay, flying back, it takes about 5, usually with a nice usual jet stream. Okay, because flying back, if you're flying out west and you fly back, the flight back is gonna be quicker. it pretty much seems like that anytime. Even when the jet stream's not involved, like if you're driving somewhere and you drive back, the drive back seems a lot quicker. It's because you're more familiar with it. But the jet stream does actually play a role making your trip a lot quicker, especially if you're flying, on the way back from flying west. So European model said later, rainfall. In terms of snowfall, some in the Midwest, okay, they're talking about lighter snowfall totals up in northern New England, but northern Maine could get 6 to 10 inches. But again, this might not be related to the bomb cyclone, or I should just say potential, storm. But they're putting a lot more snow on the Appalachian Mountains and the North Carolina Virginia border, maybe 6 to 10 for you guys too, potentially. All right, now the Canadian model, the GEM model. Okay, their jet stream winds are a lot weaker actually. Okay, there's only like there's one little spot there, okay, in northeastern Pennsylvania that might have jet stream winds up to 200, and that's pushing it. Probably more like 185, 190. Okay, now remember, jet stream level winds, I'm not talking about the surface, okay? I don't want to scare you guys. I'm not talking about a hurricane. When I mean jet stream level, I'm talking about like tens of thousands of feet up. Like, well, think about this. As the number, like the millibars goes down, that number goes down, you climb a higher altitude of feet. For example, 925 millibars is 2,500 feet. 850 millibars is 5,000 feet. That's the basic one. That's one a lot of people should know. 850 millibars is 5,000 feet. Okay, jet stream, when we analyze jet stream, we analyze about 200 to 250 millibars in that altitude level. So maybe a little bit more perspective. 500 millibars is like 18,000 feet. Yeah, because 700 millibars is 10,000 feet. So 500 millibars is about 18,000 feet. So when we're talking about 200, 250 millibars, we're talking about like probably where airplanes fly, like 40,000 feet. Okay, so probably, top, very top of the troposphere, maybe a little bit near the stratosphere. So the jet stream winds, okay, I mean, we got a huge area of yellow, which is like above 150 knots. Okay, but still, there's a smaller area of jet stream winds that could get to 200 miles an hour. Okay, but still, when you look at the rainfall, it is crazy. The 4 inches plus is really spread out more from northern Mississippi all the way to West Virginia and Virginia. And we're talking about close to like 8, 9 inches. Places like eastern Tennessee, northern Alabama, the rainfall could get very excessive. And again, doesn't help that we've just had like so much rain in the southeast. GEM model, the snowfall, again, a little area in Appalachian Mountains, couple inches. Up in northern New England, okay, maybe actually, I mean, the GEM model actually gets, we're talking about southern New England at this point, actually, maybe getting our first big snowstorm if it plays out like the 6 to 10 inches, but still, the I-95 corridor, we're waiting. I mean, Boston, maybe like not that much. New York, not that much, but Philly and D.C. and Baltimore, none whatsoever. Maybe like a little clip on the back side, but probably really nothing at all. So now we're going to show you like the precipitation and everything, and show you like, how each model plays everything out. Because I showed you the jet stream winds, precipitation totals, and snowfall totals, and all that. Now I'm going to show you like how each model plays everything out. Okay, so let's look at the United States now, and this is the GFS model of how all the precipitation I think it's going to play out. Okay, so here it comes, 84 hours. I mean, like I said, Tuesday, 2 o'clock in the morning, we're starting to see the storms start to emerge here. And then another little piece kind of comes up from the south, and we got a huge band of heavy rainfall that's coming in across the Tennessee Valley here. Okay, if it was a bombogenesis, the pressure, that red number that you see above the L, has to drop 24 millibars or more in 24 hours or less. And you can see it's at 995, 995. So each click I'm making is 6 hours. So after a few clicks, I'm seeing 994, 989, but maybe it dropped like 10 millibars in 24 hours, but it's not much. That's probably not going to be a bombogenesis by any means, but still a storm or potential bomb cyclone, but a storm to watch. And that front moves through, and it gets indicated by these blue lines that not necessarily colder air, but the fact that, the jet stream started to make a little dip in that high pressure here, kind of trying to keep the southeast toasty, but it's not. It's going to actually cool down a little bit. And GFS, like I showed you, if you want to look at the rainfall again, refer back to earlier in the video. Okay, I was going to show, the precipitation right after I showed you the the. I was gonna show you the precipitation after the, you know, after the rate, like the precipitation type map, but it's okay. I kind of wanted to play it a little bit differently. I did actually have snow here in the northern mid Atlantic today. We had a brief shot of lake effect snow. Came in about, I'm gonna say, about 12:45. It wasn't little spurts up until like 2 o'clock, and after that it was just a couple flurries. But it came out in like nice little spurts and didn't really accumulate. The funny thing is, where I was actually like almost 40 degrees, and it was still snowing somehow. But when I looked at the weather app, it was like showers in the vicinity. But somehow it came down as snow. Could have been in like a little cool pocket, like where we were. It happened to be colder than where we were, around. And if that cool pocket forms in the atmosphere, even though it says rain on the weather app, it could still mean some snow. But anyway, so the bomb cyclone is not going to produce that much snow. I mean, look at this. I mean, the European doesn't even really show anything. There's a little storm up there. They have something stronger coming in later, and as you saw in the European snowfall totals, there's a really strong wrap around there. That is a really wound up storm moving through the Midwest. The European doesn't really show any kind of bomb cyclone, although they do show something heading up, like, next weekend. But the European's not really showing any kind of bomb cyclone, potential storm. However, the Canadian model, it's like the GFS, and we just have a little train of precipitation. Some parts of southern New England could start out as some rain-snow mix before changing to all rain. Okay, I mean, this winter has just been a bore. I'm just, really upset. But we can still have some snow on the backside, maybe for that brief shot for that 95, but I wouldn't count on any accumulation for it now. I mean, hopefully none of you are taking snow for granted, because I know I used to. And when, whenever a storm came, they're like 10 inches of snow. We always end up getting like 1, and I get really upset. But it's important not to take anything for granted, and in this case, snow. Don't take snow for granted. To finish it off here today, I'm going to share like the temperature graph, just to give you guys an idea of the temperatures, like, before and after the storm, because it's fascinating how these strong bomb storms can, potentially bring like big temperature changes. All right, so here's a GFS model, right? So you can kind of tell where your little temperature front is, and if you kind of go like this, there's a drastic change like right there, because northern Louisiana, right, like northern and like northeastern Louisiana, like 70 degrees. When at the Arklatex, you're at 50. So it's like a 20-degree temperature change from here to here. So, when these strong systems, that's what happens. So look at this. And we do actually have a real heat bubble building up over the northeastern Gulf of Mexico that can heat up the water. And I know for hurricane season, because that's coming up, you want to know that actually the Caribbean, like some parts of the Caribbean Sea, the water temperature is already at 28 degrees Celsius. That's bad. It's only February. Okay, they usually get warmest August, September. Yeah, it's February, and they're already 28 degrees Celsius. So to put it in perspective, like 80 degrees Fahrenheit, like, which is like, what hurricanes usually need to, that's their thriving point, anything 80 degrees and above. Actually, 26.5 Celsius, 27, it's more like 26.5 though. That's where 80 degrees Fahrenheit is. And then, so imagine 20, that's like near the mid 80s. But most of the Caribbean Sea has already exceeded 80 degrees. And actually, I can actually show you that real quick. Once we get past the temperature map, it's like a little ending credits kind of special. But I know that because Florida is going to get near 90 degrees in the afternoon. Obviously on March 4th, on Wednesday. And then, so Florida is like near 90. And then when you look at Thursday morning, and then we're down into the 40s and 50s. So it's going to be a huge temperature change. Because on Wednesday, 90, 8 o'clock at night, we're talking about near 80, and then bam, everything just crashes. 63, 53. Okay, and it probably gets just as cold, if not colder, the next night. So Friday morning, it's going to be more. But Wednesday afternoon, okay, you're going to be looking at near 90 in Florida, and then by the time you wake up Thursday morning, you're going to be at 50. if not maybe a little bit lower, especially in the northern part of the state. Now about the temperature anomalies. And I was looking because the northern Gulf of Mexico, like the Gulf of Mexico was starting to heat up with the water temperatures. And they actually started to cool down a little bit. And I'm like, why is that? This is why. I mean, look, as we go back a couple days or so, the Gulf of Mexico has kind of been the surface temperatures have been kind of below average for Florida. So, but let's watch the storm, okay? And here it is. You can see all this red. It kind of makes like a nice little line fashion. That's how you know this is our bomb cyclone here, our storm. But notice, this is why the Northeast just can't get a break. I mean, so here's your low, right? I mean, I'd say look at go somewhere in there maybe. Okay. So behind the storm, look at the north. I mean, not to say the northern is warmer than the south, but the north is above average while the south is staying below average behind the storm. And in the Northeast behind the storm, it's actually still above average. Now obviously not as much above average as we were before. Like before, I-95 quarter around Philly, we were like 20 degrees Celsius above average. Okay, but now we're like 2.5 to 4 degrees above average Celsius, but still. And then eventually, I mean, this has nothing to do with the storm. We just have like a random little cool shot coming into Saturday. And it just lasts for Saturday. Like that, like literally. It just lasts for Saturday. Because by the time Sunday comes in, we're back above average again. So we have like one little cool down, and then we get another excessive warm and then cold, and maybe, just maybe, a big cold shot coming in the 12th. And maybe lasting, a couple days or so. So thank you for watching today's video. And as I said, I show you guys, I'm gonna kind of show you the anomalies here, the water temperature anomalies. Let me just pull those up for you guys. All right, so here's the anomalies. Okay, so the Gulf of Mexico used to be all painted orange. Now we got a couple blue spots developing. Okay, that's because, like I showed you on that temperature map. Like if I show you again right here, you probably remember. Okay, this is going back a couple days. Oh, that was not what I lied. Hold on. All right, now we're going back a couple days ago. And you can see near the Gulf of Mexico area, the surface temperatures over the water have been kind of in blue. So the Gulf of Mexico has been starting to, chill down a little bit. But still, some parts of the Gulf of Mexico and, the Western Atlantic and the Caribbean are still above average, and that's what you need to form hurricanes or tropical systems this time of year. So when we talk about ocean temperatures, where can hurricanes? I mean, we're not going to go into hurricane season in detail and talk about wind shear and dry air yet. I'm just talking about, like, if you were just looking at this ocean temperatures, where could a tropical system form? Not saying one is going to form, but just looking at, just as ocean temperatures. But no tropical system has any chance of forming for another couple months at least. So anywhere north of that, anywhere north of that black line I just drew, actually I'm going to redraw that. I mean, that one was fine. Okay, but basically anything north of that black line, you got no chance. Okay, 24, 23, it's like your 70s. It's okay, but this is your favorable zone. Okay, but like I said, it's still not favorable because we still got tons of wind shear and dry air to block it out. But like I said, look at this. By Haiti, it's 28 degrees Celsius. It's probably even nearing 29. That's the southern part of the Caribbean. 28 down here. There's lots of 27s already. I mean, pretty much during the wintertime, we pretty much never drop. Like, there's always yellows here. I mean, we pretty much never drop below 80. But when we're starting into the mid-80s already, like, normally it should probably be around 80 still. And when you look at the anomaly 7-day change, how the anomalies change. So you can see there has been a noticeable cool down, but the anomalies are still above average. So we have seen a little cool down, but the Caribbean's actually been getting warmer. A little bit, and it looks like a face, doesn't it? There we go. So that's what I'm going to leave you with for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I am the Weather Dude, signing off. Till next time.